All right, welcome to PJTV's ongoing lecture series that we're coming up with on Henry Hazlitt's definitive book, Economics in One Lesson. The three of us on set here, I'm here with Terry Jones and Yaron Brook, by the way, and we all agreed that this book is one of the best books out there for describing economic concepts in a way that are easily understood. So we thought we'd try to bring some of these lessons to you, the loyal PJTV viewer. The first lesson in the book is simply called The Lesson, and here it is. Henry Hazlitt writes, quote, "The whole of economics can be reduced to a single lesson, and that lesson can be reduced to a single sentence. Here it is. The art of economics consists in not looking merely at immediate, but also at the longer effects of any act or policy. It consists of tracking the consequences of a policy, not merely for one group, but for all groups." All right, Yaron, in layman terms, why don't you tell us, what does this mean?
You know, it means that economics is more complex and more long-term than what our gut instincts often would suggest. So that, for example, you know, if you lower taxes, well, if you lower taxes, then the immediate response would be, well, that means that you're going to get less revenue, you know, because people are paying a low rate. But economics tells you, but wait a minute, there are other effects of lower taxes. There are effects on people's incentive to work, people's motivation to work. They might work harder, and therefore the economy would grow more, and therefore the base on which the taxes might grow, and therefore tax revenue might actually be larger. And you can go through this on every single regulation, every single government policy. You know, insurance companies, if there's a public option, what does that mean? Well, it'll be cheaper because the public option can then lower costs. They can provide, they're not trying to seek a profit. But what impact does that have on the behavior of private insurance companies, and how can they compete? And if the private insurance companies all end up going out of business, does the public option then still provide a cheaper option? No, it doesn't, because now it's a government monopoly, and we know that government monopolies always raise prices. So what he's saying is, don't just look at the superficial first level effect in economics. Look deeper. Look at the consequences on motivation and incentives for the second level, the third level, and look long term. What will happen next year, but also what will happen 5 years, 10 years from now. All right, Terry, anything to add to that? He had a couple real-world applications there with healthcare and with tax rates. But
absolutely. Hazlitt was very concerned that government often did things for the short term for very specific interest groups and not for the long term and for everyone. Well, what does that remind us of? Yeah, stimulus, $787 billion. Short term, big spending. Targeted groups, not for everyone. It won't do what it promises to do, and this is the kind of thing that Hazlitt was worried about, that we would target specific groups for benefits that the rest of us didn't get, and that's one of the key principles that economics is built on.
All right, guys, that's it. That is lesson number 1, and you're going to click back here for lesson number 2, and as we go through this in short order, you're going to have all of economics laid out for you by one really good book and 2 really smart guys explaining it for you. So click back for lesson 2, The Broken Window.